Morning. My name's Esther Fox, and I hope you'll join me in this song, I Choose Love. Won't you sing with me? I choose love. 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 Oh, na 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 na. Joy, I choose 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 joy. Choose peace, I choose peace, I choose peace, I choose peace, I choose peace. Oh, na 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 na. I choose love, I choose love. I choose love, I choose love, I choose love, I choose love, I choose love. Oh, na 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 na. I choose love, I choose love, I choose love. Oh.
Good morning, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Rosa. I am Tamira Hume, a practitioner here at our wonderful center. Thanks to our band to remind us that we choose love. Yeah. Growth expresses through all of life. It unfolds in every challenge we face, every insight we gain, and every new beginning we embrace. At our center here, we honor growth as the natural expression of spirit. Growth brings wisdom where there was uncertainty and strength where there was struggle. It moves with purpose, shaping our lives with greater clarity and compassion. To embrace growth is to remember that we are always changing, always becoming, and that each step forward reveals more of our true potential. Whether you are in the room or on YouTube, you are welcome here, where we aspire to grow by honoring equity, diversity, and inclusion. Please join me in reading our mission. You can do it. The Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that promotes global transformation through personal transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. Good job. We are motivated by a compelling global vision that inspires us to bring the gifts of compassion, integrity, and loving kindness to the world through our programs and teaching. Together, we are helping create a world that works for everyone. At the center, we use 5 spiritual practices that help us express love throughout our lives. Please read those aloud with me. Spiritual study. We'll start again. Spiritual study, affirmative prayer, meditation, selfless service, and spiritual circulation. As you know, we use flowers to send messages of love and acceptance to one another. This flower dedication comes from the 2025 Nurturing Our Community team with heartfelt thanks to every one of our generous hosts and enthusiastic bidders. This year, 33 gracious members of our community stepped up to share their time and talents, offering 18 unique events to be held from May through October. Over 120 of you registered to bid, hoping to claim one of the more than 160 available seats. And when the silent auctions closed, over 80 of you had secured spots at these special gatherings. We are thrilled to share with you that we raised an incredible $11,015 in support of our spiritual home. We are deeply grateful for your generosity, your spirit of connection, and your joyful participation. The committee can't wait to join you at these wonderful events in the coming months, and we're already looking forward to doing it all again next year. Please, we would now like to extend a warm welcome to our first-time visitors. First-time visitors, please stand or raise your hand, and we will bring you a flower and a welcome packet as a token of our gratitude that you are with us today. Please remain standing or keep your hand raised so we might find you. If you are watching online for the first time, let us know in the chat. We are really grateful to have you. I know that somewhere in the music, the meditation, the prayer, the practices, and Dr. Edwards' message today, you will find exactly what you need to experience for the next step of your spiritual unfoldment. You are indeed welcome here. Now please enjoy some music before we spend our short time in silent contemplation and prayer.
You are a part of it, and I am a part of it. Magic happens everywhere. Take a breath, you'll find it there. You are a part of it, and I am a part of it. Magic happens everywhere. Take a breath, take a breath. Revolving tide, creating life. You are the one, I am the one. Evolving mind, healing life. You are the one, we are one. You are a part of it, and I am a part of it. Magic happens everywhere. Take a breath, you'll find it there. You are a part of it, and I am a part of it. Magic happens everywhere. Take a breath, take a breath. Revolving tide, creating life. You are the one, I magic happens everywhere. Take a breath, you'll find it there.
Right here, right now, we recognize the loving Spirit, always present, always creating from love and giving of itself to all and all alike. This essence, ever creating, is able to be felt in each heart and each mind as we surrender and remain open and expectant for the magic and the mystery. So I accept that each of us answered a call today to be here at this sanctuary we call our center, to receive, to share, and to participate in the conversation, the connection, the message, the learning, the music, and the upliftment that each heart requires to remain in that love. So I celebrate this community. I celebrate the unlimited possibilities that exist here. And I move this spiritual mind treatment into the activity of the law, which of course takes the impress and then manifests it as experience. What a blessing. And so it is. Good morning. I'm Jennifer Mann, prayer practitioner emeritus. Would you please join me in reading the affirmation today? There is a calm, clear, compassionate self within me.
Star seeds rise, your heart drum is calling you home to stand and be the light shining through the shadows of darkness to heal the wounds of life. life we shine. We are one truth, love divine. We are wisdom realized. Star seeds rise, we stand as one. We are one breath burning bright. We are sacred soul in sight. Star seeds rise, we stand as one. Transcendent truth, your heart's constellation, a symphony of light. Ignite, ascending through the veils of illusion. Behold these wings and fly on high. We are one truth, love divine. We are wisdom realized. Star seeds rise, we stand as one. We are one breath burning bright. We are sacred soul in sight. Star seeds rise, we stand as one. We are one truth, love divine. We are wisdom realized. Star seeds rise, we stand as one. We are one breath burning bright. We are sacred soul in sight. Star seeds rise, we stand as one. Star seeds rise, your heart drum is calling. Star seeds rise, your heart drum is calling. Star seeds rise, your heart drum is calling.
Oh, thank you so much, Astra Fox, and thank you, Francesco, and Nick, and Brett. And you know, Brett's playing with his band at, where is it? At the Hop Monk this evening at 6 p.m. What time? 5:30, so you can go and see his band there too. And also I want to say thank you, Marie, for the beautiful flowers always. Marie's the brains behind the flowers, and our volunteer television crew and sound crew up there, and all the people who hand out flowers, and all the ushers and hospitality and volunteers. It really takes a whole community, doesn't it? And so I want to invite you just to take a moment. You don't even have to touch anybody, but to turn around and welcome somebody to your spiritual community that you haven't met before, maybe. Thank you for that. This month of May, we've been exploring spiritual skills that can help us live in this world with grace and with courage. So we began at the beginning of the month with the art of self-advocacy, learning how to speak up for ourselves. Then last week, Reverend Russ covered the art of healthy boundaries, learning how to honor ourselves and others with clarity and love. And that brings us to today, the art of reconciliation. Possibly the toughest one in the group of skills we're learning. So what is reconciliation? Well, I think of it as bringing things back together, as in restoring connections in relationships that are stressed, as in acknowledging when harm has been done and attempting to make repairs, as in choosing peace over pride, as in being willing to make the first move toward harmony, as in creating new possibilities because going backward is too painful. So this work can be quite messy, and it's rarely quick. And it often requires courage, especially to go first in making a repair, to open the door to the possibility of stepping forward toward wholeness. And the work of reconciliation doesn't always mean things will go back to how they were. It doesn't mean smoothing things over into a kind of false harmony. What it can mean is the creation of something entirely new out of what was before. Creating a new relationship, for example, that's based on new agreements about honesty, about mutuality, about respect. So that's the work of reconciliation. It's repairing and restoring. It's walking through the sometimes painful experience of being human because we're drawn forward to peace and connection. Those are important to us. So oftentimes we speak about finding a relationship and nurturing a relationship, but today we're going to be talking about repairing relationships of all kinds. I've been on an adventure of repairing and upcycling in my life, especially clothing, because I was given a sewing machine for my birthday. Yeah, and so I have been learning how to sew. And I love it. Making new clothing has been fun. I made my first t-shirt. That was hard. That was really hard, sewing on stretchy fabric, But my real passion is repairing clothing and upcycling stuff. So I took all of those silk ties from the 30 years that I wore them on Sundays, and I've been reconfiguring them into zip bags. Because, why not? I'm not going to put them into a dump. I'm making bags. It's lovely. Upcycling them into zipper bags. Making something new from what was before. Do you see? And I've learned how to mend clothing too. No more throwing stuff away. Not even dishcloths in the kitchen. I will darn them, I will make it new again. And I love that so much. Because you see, up until now, it's been tempting to throw something away because of one fault. But when I do that, oftentimes I'm walking away from one of the most powerful opportunities for depth and growth. That's the work of reconciliation, repairing or making something new that might not be exactly the same as before. So today I want to explore 4 qualities of mind that create a repairing consciousness. And they are humility, empathy, forgiveness, and sacrifice. Let's start at the very beginning. Humility, I think of as the strength it takes to soften my point of view and say, yeah, maybe I don't know everything today. Maybe I don't need to explain everything today. Maybe my work here today can be about connecting without correcting, so that I can see where repair needs to be done and where newness can come. So humility in this way is about being willing really to take the first step, not necessarily because you're wrong, but because creating something new is more important to you than winning. In Science of Mind, Dr. Holmes teaches us that the universe responds to our mental atmosphere. And so to me, that means when I bring a mental atmosphere of humility, I am creating the opportunity for listening and learning and newness. And that's my experience, that when I show up with humility, life meets me with new, fresh possibilities. Possibilities that I can't see when I'm unteachable or inflexible. So to promote this mindset, I say to myself in the style of affirmative prayer, I am open to something even better than being right. I'm open to something even better than being the best, the greatest, whatever it is. I am open to something even better than winning. I'm open to something even more marvelous than getting what I think I want. And here's how we can apply this practice of humility throughout the week, just by asking ourselves questions as we go through the week. Where am I holding out for another person to make the first move and go first and open the door? And I can ask myself, if repairing is what I want, am I willing to risk leading the way? Is there somewhere in my life where I can go first with an attitude of connecting, listening, without correcting, and without explaining? The second quality is empathy. And I think of empathy as the bridge between people, between points of view, between cultures, between ideas. Empathy is the quiet courage that it takes to imagine what it's like to be someone else, even when you don't agree with them or like them. It means having the mental attitude of, I see you as being more than this conflict we have. I see you and I value your spirit, even though I don't share the same ideas. I see you and I sincerely desire to understand where you're coming from. So empathy then is essential to reconciliation because it can help us understand that sometimes people, and that's including you and me, sometimes people act out of their conditioning, out of their fear, out of their pain, out of their beliefs, or their culture, or out of stories they've inherited. So empathy can help us see that, not to excuse bad behavior, but because we want to humanize the person. See them as more than the disagreement. It's particularly important these days because in our society, dehumanization is a significant problem. You know, when people are thought of as a problem or a label and not a person. And doing that reduces the inclination to connect. And it can make poor treatment okay. So in relationship with others, especially in stressful situation, when one person can say, I am trying to understand what this has been like for you, the likelihood of resolution and coming back together increases. And practicing empathy can be as simple as reminding myself during the week to be willing to listen, to be willing to be curious about someone else's way of thinking, to be willing to stay engaged through disagreement until clarity emerges. Is it always possible? I can't say that with certainty, but I know on a personal level that when I feel truly heard, my whole nervous system calms down, and I can be more collaborative, and then creativity returns, and trust grows, and then I can negotiate, I can even compromise, I can adjust. That is the power of empathy. It opens a door. Now, in Science of Mind, we teach that spiritual law responds not only to our words, but to the tone of our consciousness. So if my tone that I'm carrying around is one of defensiveness, I get confirmation that more defensiveness is needed. And if my tone is of open curiosity and compassion, life confirms that more of that is wanted. So empathy then can be a spiritual attitude of mind. I call it the atmosphere of my heart, one that invites wholeness to emerge. It's repair work. Now, the third quality of mind is forgiveness, and this is where the upcycling comes. This is where we take something that was and make something new out of it. I think of it as releasing the grip of the past. Now, as we explored in our 4-week in-depth class on the power of forgiveness, it's important to say that forgiveness is not always about letting what happened be forgotten. It's not really about erasing boundaries. It's not denying pain or wrongdoing. No, it's more like a shift in attention toward releasing the inner knots that block connection and movement and reconciliation. So forgiveness, the voice of forgiveness says, I am no longer willing to be held hostage by this wound. So in that sense, forgiveness is not something we give to someone else. It's something we offer to ourselves. As Lily Tomlin famously said, forgiveness is giving up all hope of a better past. Now, important notice that in reconciliation, forgiveness doesn't erase accountability, but it does gently remove resentment from the driving seat, the driver's seat. Because resentment, well, it helps us suffer through, muscle through, but it rarely initiates repair work. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. warned us of that, like kind of a false peace, a kind of negative peace, which is the absence of tension but without the presence of justice. And it's what happens when we avoid the work, when we avoid conflict, so we prioritize making nice over being transparent. While beneath the surface, the wound still hurts. So true reconciliation seeks a positive peace, one that is rooted in these qualities we're talking about and in these practices of listening actively, of being transparent willfully, of being accountable, of considering mutuality, being engaged. That's the work of upcycling, to create something of greater value than what was before. When Nelson Mandela emerged from 27 of wrongful imprisonment in South Africa, he didn't pretend nothing had happened to him. But he did not let resentment drive him. Along with Bishop Desmond Tutu, he helped establish South Africa's Truth and Reconciliation Commission as a way for the nation to listen to itself, to bring the stories of abuse into the light, to name what had been broken, and then to make something new. And then through this work, he became a global symbol of healing. He's known affectionately, even after his passing, as Madiba, the father of the nation. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission gave voice to those human rights abuses that happened in his country, so that through the telling of the pain, through the speaking of the anguish, there was an opportunity for the deep fracturedness to begin to heal. And that happened because of willingness to witness the pain and to listen without defensiveness and without correcting, so that a new South Africa could be born. In our Sound Science of Mind, Dr. Ernest Holmes reminds us that outer conditions tend to be a reflection of inner states of mind. That's why the phrase, "let there be peace on earth," ends with, "and let it begin with me." A necessary and essential ingredient of reconciliation. So we have humility, empathy, forgiveness, and then the fourth, sacrifice. I think of that as letting go of being right for a special purpose. For the purpose of supporting this relationship in being able to reconfigure itself, to restore, to repair. So the word sacrifice, you may know, comes from a Latin root that means to make sacred. And I think of it as, I am making something sacred by giving it up for a greater purpose. In reconciliation work, sacrifice then can mean giving up something like an accurate but old, unhelpful story. Give it up. Or something like giving up the upper hand. Or something like giving up exact proof of correctness. Or giving up the need to be the one who was more hurt. And giving it up for something larger, the emergence of something new and wholesome. I think of it in this way. I am giving up this idea, whatever it is, in service to the principle of wholeness. So this way then, sacrifice becomes about remembering what really matters the most. I'm saying this relationship matters more than my moment of justified indignation. Ooh. Well, this work, it's made easier when there's a foundation of affection already in place. I'll tell you that. I was thinking about a friend of mine he's of a different faith tradition to me, and how interesting it has been for me to accept that he has the beliefs that he has. Now, the thing is, although I think that what he believes is wrong, and although he thinks that what I believe is misguided and delusional, we have great love and admiration for each other nevertheless. So our conversations tend to be fascinating. Yeah. And because there is this foundation of affection and respect, we have the freedom to disagree strongly with each other. Even poke fun at each other. Ridicule each other. Because there's no risk of losing connection. And that's a foundational aspect, affection and respect, that allows for differences to exist. It means if I would give it a voice, it would say this: I won't stop loving you. I won't stop including you because I disagree with you. That is the kind of love where disagreement doesn't equal disconnection. And it's foundational for families, for friendships, for spiritual community, for society. And I think that if we can practice holding that level of grace for one another in our relationships, we can also begin to hold it for the world. Is it possible? Easy? Well, I can't say for sure. However, maybe that is the reason why Dr. Holmes wrote these words: we must truly love people more than we have ever loved them before. Whew. Now, this made me think of my family of origin, because I had forgotten how it was with us. Now that everyone has passed, I tend to only remember the love and the good times. But if I get honest, the reality is that we were pretty divided about everything. When it came to politics, religion, sexuality, manners, just everything. Food, movies, patriotism, everything. And we would get into screaming matches about it, And one side of the family was very vocal and unreasonably expressive. And the other side of the family was introverted and quietly resentful. But we never stopped loving each other, even when we were mad at each other. Here's what I remember. A person could not lose their place in the family because of disagreement. You couldn't get thrown out or punished for an unacceptable point of view, or for how we voted, or for how we dealt with differences. We had to deal with our differences as a necessary part of being a family, and it was an ongoing work. Not easy, not quick, and required humility, empathy, forgiveness, and so much more. Reconciliation then is larger than a one-time event, one-time conversation. No, it's an art or an ongoing spiritual practice of over and over again choosing openness over defensiveness, choosing transparency over silence, choosing unity over division, and so on. And will we always get it right? Well, that's the beauty of spiritual practice. It meets us right where we are, so we can grow from there and stumble forward together. So this week, I invite you to consider this. Ask, notice, Where does tension still live in my life? What needs to be spoken and is now the right time? What repair move am I willing to make? And am I willing to make it with a consciousness of listening and not correcting? Is there something I'm willing to sacrifice in service to a larger reality? Is there an apology or an act of being present? Is there something I'm willing to release? Not because I've forgotten, but because I'm ready to thrive. So I've prepared a list of affirmations organized into categories: affirmations on humility, affirmations on empathy, on forgiveness, on sacred surrender, and on reconciliation and peace. And I have them printed out. I'll be at the statue of Saraswati afterwards, where you can pick one up on your way out. And then on the other side, it's a spiritual mind treatment that incorporates those qualities so that if you're practicing this week, you have a resource to support you. So let's take this into prayer right now by breathing in together and exhaling. The creative power of life is boundless, a formless presence. It is the infinite, without beginning or end. It is wholeness itself, complete and indivisible. It is that which gives rise to galaxies, and to stillness, and to movement. It is the source of all that is seen, all that is unseen. It is essence, beyond name, the all-encompassing reality in which all things arise. The same creative power lives through me and through every person here. It moves as my listening, as my seeing, as my understanding. I am grounded in its unshakable calm. I am rooted in its presence. In this awareness, then, I welcome the quality of reconciliation. I am open to something even better than being right. I soften my stance and create space for connection. I'm willing to take action in the direction of peace. I listen, intending to understand. I recognize the humanity in others, and compassion guides my attention. I am grateful for the spiritual atmosphere of reconciliation that surrounds and includes me. I'm thankful for the wisdom unfolding and for the newness emerging, for the repair already beginning, and for the grace that holds each of us in unity. Gratitude fills my heart, and I witness the creative power at work right now through me, through my relationships and my community. And so I release this word into the creative law, confident in its fulfillment. Peace begins with me, in me, again and again, and so it is. Followed by a breath in and a sigh as we make the transition to the part of our service where we share and support our spiritual community through our financial gifts. I invite the ushers to stand as you prepare your gift. And as you do that, won't you place your hand on your chest as a symbol of your heart's connection to your spiritual community and say, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does amazing work in the world. And so it is. Ushers, please receive the gift.
Making changes for myself. I deserve a wealth of health. Getting moving, watch me go. There's no waiting for tomorrow. It's the greatest satisfaction. I'm taking action. I'm taking action. Yeah. Standing up for myself, feeling better in every cell. Keep it moving, watch me go, stepping up as my own hero. It causes a chain reaction. I'm taking action. I'm taking action. I could count every reason to let my life pass me by. I've held on through the seasons that were the hardest to survive. And I survived, transforming myself from the ashes of phoenix, healed, spiral upward, watch me grow. If I don't try, then I'll never know. Fully driven by my passion, I'm taking action. I'm taking action. I'm taking action. It's the greatest satisfaction.
You know that voice in your head, the one that's always narrating your life? Sometimes it lifts us up, and sometimes it pulls us down. Dr. Edward is inviting us into a powerful conversation about this voice in his workshop, the impact of negative thinking. Together, we'll take a look at how our inner dialogue shapes our moods and our choices, our relationships, even our sense of what is possible. Blending insights from both psychology and spiritual principles, Dr. Edward will help us recognize old thought patterns and offer practical tools to shift them gently and intentionally towards something more life-affirming. If you're ready to treat yourself with more kindness and create a healthier relationship with your own mind, come join us this afternoon at 1 p.m. Every aspect of who we are starts as a mental image. In Reverend Sciota's upcoming class, Mental Equivalence, we'll explore how those mental images shape our experience of life and how we can consciously paint new ones. You'll learn how to clarify what you want, hold it in thought, and align with it using the principles of science of mind. This class is all about learning to use your imagination to create a life that is rich and fulfilling. If you're ready to move beyond old patterns and into possibility, this class is for you, and scholarships are indeed available. Head over to our info desk or our website to get more information and to register. You can also register for Dr. Edwards' workshop at the door if you come early. Our center is hosting a screening on Sunday, June 8th at 2 p.m. of a film called Roots in My Garden. It's a story by our very own congregant, Joe Lauer. This film is a short drama that tells the story of a mother who lost her child because of discrimination against lesbian couples in the 1990s. LGBTQ families could be torn apart and children uprooted because their non-biological mother was not considered a parent under the law. And there will be Q&A after the film, and you can find out more information and get your tickets on our website. Our youth and family program is a place to belong. It's a community where young hearts and minds explore big ideas in an atmosphere of love and respect. If someone you love needs a place to connect, create, and thrive, we are here. Learn more from our Youth and Family Director, Jennifer Caldwell. Would you raise your hand, dear? Thank you. Yeah, there she is. Sonoma County Pride is just around the corner, and this year our center will be at 2 events. The first one is here in Santa Rosa in Courtyard Square on Saturday, May 31st. And then in June, we're expanding to Windsor's Pride event on Saturday, June 21st. Come share your support. We even have a raffle with lovely gifts from our bookstore that you can enter. Speaking of celebrations, come join us on Wednesday, June 18th for our Juneteenth Summer Solstice Potluck and Service. That's a mouthful. You will hear from our very own trustees, Lawrence Edwards and Olivia Kinsler, as they share the importance of Juneteenth and why it's a holiday for everyone. Sign up to bring your favorite dish on our website and at the info desk. And outside, you may have noticed the table full of goodies and bread. It is our final AIDS Life Cycle Bake Sale, and one that marks the close of an impactful chapter in our center's history. This year's ride is the last ever of the 545-mile journey from the Cal Palace in San Francisco to Los Angeles, a yearly tradition that has raised millions and millions for HIV and AIDS research and support. Our team has been part of this movement for 11 unforgettable years. Now we have the chance to send them off with love, gratitude, and a bake sale to remember. Head on over, get some baked goods. Let's make this last bake sale an inspiring grand finale. May is National Foster Care Month. So we are pleased to have our Village Closet, OVC, as our May nonprofit. Their mission is to improve outcomes for youth and families impacted by foster care. And they do that by providing essentials, support, and community connection. In addition to having the staff visit us in our social hall this morning, we're kicking off a supply drive. And it's goods, and they'll inform you of all the types of things that you might offer as supplies. You can also find out by checking out the tags on the giving tree near their table. The supply drive will run for 4 weeks. The last day will be June 11th. We also want to highlight that they would like to have more volunteers. So if you are interested in supporting the wonderful work OVC is doing, please inquire at the table. And they do all of this to support foster children, which can use all the support that they can get. Now, please enjoy a video from OVC. Thank you and have a great weekend.
Our Village Closet was established as a grassroots organization, really, in late 2018 by 2 foster parents. There was a need for supplies, but also support in the foster care community. They saw the need, experienced the need themselves, and began this village to fill that need. Today, our Village Closet improves outcomes for youth and families of foster care by providing no-cost essentials, support, and community connections.
Without OVC, a lot of our foster families may not have that support that is so crucial during the first few days of a child joining their home. OVC provides resources that families would otherwise have to gather for themselves, and that can be really stressful when your whole life has been turned upside down, and so has the life of the child that you are bringing into your home and providing love and safety for. So I am very grateful that OVC exists, and I cannot imagine what our foster care community in Sonoma County would look like if we didn't have them.
Without OVC, we would not have experienced an outpouring of care and support as resource parents. At times when we've had a short window to pick up children when they are in crisis, OVC has been ready with little notice and donated important supplies for the care of those kiddos, like car seats, high chairs, clean clothes, bottles, diapers, books, and toys that will comfort them. OVC has also been a safe space to find a listening ear and provided a gathering place for us to learn from and connect with other resource families. Without OVC, we wouldn't be capable of being the kind of resource parents we want to be.
Hi, I wanted to take a moment to share how much Our Village Closet has meant to me and my family. I don't have a lot of family to rely on, so having access to OVC has been life-changing. They've been there for us in ways I've never imagined, helping my children with Christmas gifts, providing brand new shoes and backpacks, and making sure we have clothes when the weather changes. It's a huge relief to not have to worry so much about those basic needs anymore. Because of this incredible support, I'm now able to consider opening my home to children who grew up in foster care or kinship situations just like I did. The resources OVC offers makes that possible. It's truly more than I could ever express in words, but the gratitude shines through and the smiles they get to see on my children's faces every day. Thank you so much to the donors who make this all possible. Your generosity means the world to families like mine.
Every child and youth in foster care deserves to feel safe, supported, and cared for. And every one of us can say yes to foster care in so many different ways. Your support ensures that Our Village Closet can provide no-cost ongoing essentials, comfort items, support, and community connections. Together, we can be the village that empowers, strengthens, and creates a sense of belonging for these children and families of foster care, improving their well-being and their future outcomes. How will you say yes to foster care?
That's wonderful. That's so moving. Thank you. So just in case you haven't heard the announcement, I'm just making sure everybody knows that on the 1st of January, 2028, I will be retiring. And so I want to give our community a nice, sumptuous advanced notice so that we could take advantage of these 2.5 remaining years and spend quality time together. Come to my workshop, come to the center, let's hang out, because on January 1st, 2028, I will be shifting from here to the audience with you, right? So this gives us time to make a mindful transition and to do it in a collaborative way, and the Board of Trustees is working on that right now. And I'm repeating the announcement a couple more times because, you know, our community, we come whenever we want to. We should reintroduce guilt. No? Good luck with that, Edward. If there is something that is incomplete in you, or if you have something in your life you'd like spiritual support around, please don't go home without taking advantage of the in-room prayer support. You just go to the back over there and the host will connect you with a prayer practitioner to listen to your request and then custom make a spiritual mind treatment for you. If you're watching online, you can do a similar thing by going to our website and finding the Zoom link that will take you to a private Zoom room where a prayer practitioner, well, they're there right now waiting for you to come and make a similar request. With that in mind, won't you please stand as you are able, saying, something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it, just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you're guided, sustained, and empowered by a presence that expresses itself as you in this world. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly, so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor this presence within. And so it is. Thank you so much for being here. Let us close our service with song.
I release and I let